Hey everyone, I'm Warren. I'm a corporate banker in the City of London, and I'm here to make wealth building simple and accessible because your wealth matters. As always, let me know in the comment section below if you want me to cover any other topics in future videos or if you have any questions on this video. Today, I want to share my property investing strategy with you guys, what's worked for me so far, where I hope to be in 5 to 10 years, and the type of money that I expect to be making, and how that's going to help me achieve my goal, because that's what I'm doing this for. Hopefully, in the process, you'll get something useful from this video. So you might be like me, I never had friends or family in the property business. I didn't have anyone dropping game to me. I never knew anything about property investing before starting. I just heard about it on TV and in newspapers. No one was schooling me. I'm completely self-taught, guys. Now, I don't position myself to be a property guru, but I'm not an amateur either. I'm not one of those hundreds of people on the internet selling courses on how to invest in property and telling you all the things that you should be doing with your money and strategy wise, but they've never invested a single penny of their own money. They don't own any properties themselves. As you already know from watching my videos, I myself own 4 properties, 1 that we live in and 3 that are investment properties. And those investment properties are all profit making, guys. So I've been through the process time and time again, and I'm speaking to you based on experience and not based on theory. Which leads me nicely onto my first tip of this video, and that is to get your property investing knowledge from people that are already a few steps ahead of you. I'm talking 5, 10 years. Identify someone who's already doing what you want to be doing in 5, 10, 15 years from now and soak up knowledge from them. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, guys. If the formula and the template has already been set and proven, do the same, replicate. I personally like to watch podcasts and YouTube videos. I learn best from that. I read books here and there, but mainly podcasts and YouTube videos from people that are 5, 10, 15 years ahead of me. And I essentially follow their template. I adapt it here and there where I think I can make improvements. One area, for example, is the use of technology. I try to automate things a lot more. So using like smart apps, spreadsheets, and technology that helps researching and managing properties in particular a lot more efficient. But essentially, guys, I don't reinvent the wheel. As I said, if the path's already been trodden, I just follow it. So the past 14 months of COVID, and for those who can remember back to the 2008 crash, has taught us that jobs cannot be relied on as a permanent source of income, guys.
It's above me now.
Millions of people across the world lost their jobs or had their incomes reduced as a result of measures like furlough. Now, I firmly believe that we all need alternative non-work related sources of income that don't depend on an employer, that don't depend on you going to work 5 days a week and beyond that, working yourself hard to the bone to death. We're supposed to live balanced lives, guys. We're supposed to live well, enjoy life, have time to go on holidays when we want without having to request it from our bosses and be declined because it's too busy at work, waking up when we want, meditating during the day, taking our dogs for a walk, guys. Now, some of you might think I'm radical and crazy saying this. You might say, well, Warren, we're all supposed to work. That's the way the economy is. But what about quality of life, guys? I truly believe that we've been hoodwinked to an extent into believing that we're supposed to grind until we're retirement age, which I think is it's about 65 or so in this country, and then only relax once we're retired, after we've been burnt out by whatever industry or job that we're in. Only at the end, towards the end of our lives, are we supposed to relax. I reject that, guys. My objective, my personal objective, my strategy is to replace my income in the next 5 years and live a balanced and healthy life. Which leads me on to my second tip, guys. When you're looking into property investing, coming up with a strategy, start with your life goals and then link them into your property investing strategy. So what do I mean by that? So if you're the type of person that wants to, say, travel a lot and take career breaks, for example, you're going to need a strategy that's going to replace your income. Or if you're the type of person that has a job that you really love, you enjoy your life, but you just want to build wealth for the future, then you might want to look at a capital appreciation strategy as opposed to a high yielding strategy. So align your life goals to your investing strategy. Very important, guys. So me personally, I own 2 buy-to-lets so far, and I would describe them as entry-level investment properties. Very simple, very straightforward. I get a tenant in and they pay their rent month to month. Simples, guys. However, to replace my income, as I alluded to at the beginning of this video, I'm gonna need, I've calculated it maths-wise, I'm gonna need 10 more buy-to-let properties. Now, I don't have that kind of money, especially not in the next 5 years. So I'm gonna have to find other ways to accelerate the income that I get from property. So I'm gonna have to look at different strategies. So what am I gonna do? Now, I mentioned that I have 3 buy-to-let properties. 2 of them are standard vanilla buy-to-lets. One of them is completing next month by God's grace. And what I intend to do is to use that property for serviced accommodation. Now, serviced accommodation is basically using a property for short-term stays. So if you've been on holiday and you've used an Airbnb, or say you've worked outside of the city where you live in another city and you've stayed in a property using something like booking.com, that is essentially what serviced accommodation is. And I've got an agent who's going to manage that property for me and pay me the income. Now, the money that you get, the money that I'll get from service accommodation, assuming that I get the right occupancy rates and all of that, is going to be significantly more than I could get from a standard buy-to-let. And I've done the maths, guys. So approximately, if I do 3 more service accommodation properties over my next 3 purchases, I'll be at an income level where I'm able to replace my wage and be able to effectively not work.
Yeah.
That's my strategy, guys. And that's how I intend to accelerate my income in order to be financially free in the next 5 years. Now, beyond that, I do plan on buying more properties. I'm not gonna just stop at 2 buy-to-lets and 3 service accommodation properties. What I really wanna go into beyond that is commercial property. Now, I'm gonna put up a picture on the screen in a sec, but essentially commercial property is letting a property to a business as opposed to an individual who's staying in it on a residential basis. So commercial property is very, very vast. It could be something like the Shard in London Bridge where you have restaurants and offices, etc. That's really the high end of commercial property, all the way down to, say, a fish and chip shop around the corner. Now, me personally, I want to go into an area of commercial property which is a hybrid between commercial and residential called mixed use. Now, mixed use, as the name suggests, is one property with dual uses. So usually on the bottom, you will have a commercial unit, i.e. a shop, and above it, you'll have residential units that people live in. So you have 2 uses and 2 incomes, guys, in one property. You're diversified within the same property, which is fantastic. So if you're in a scenario, for example, where you have no residential tenants, but you have a commercial tenant on the bottom, so the top's empty, but the bottom's full, you're getting an income to cover the costs of your mortgage. And the other way around, if you have a residential tenant, but you don't have a commercial tenant, again, you're covered. Obviously, the ideal scenario is to have both at the same time. And I don't need to say that the income from this strategy is a lot higher than standard buy-to-let. So that is essentially my strategy, guys. That's where I am at right now, and that's where I intend to be over the next 5 years and beyond. Let me know what your strategies are. I know there's lots of strategies in property. Let me know in the comment section below what you are planning on doing or what you're doing right now. If you like this video, drop a like, guys. It really helps. Share it with somebody else, and I'll see you guys soon.